So we've created our assignment groups, and now we want to actually create an assignment for these groups. So these actually provide me with the perfect examples of what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead. We're going to start at the very bottom here with practical exams. And the reason we're going to start with practical exams for me is because these would be in-class assignments that students would be expected to perform. So students have to come to class and they have to take these practical exams. So what we're going to do is we're going to create the first assignment, and that first assignment is going to be one of these practical exams. So I'm going to go ahead and click the plus assignment button. Again, if you're following along, we haven't really left the page we've been on. We started on the home page and we went to the assignments tab here in our local navigation. And now I'm going to press the plus assignment button, and that's going to open a new window. And in this new window, I'm going to be met with a very familiar theme, the rich content editor. All right, so let's go ahead and name this assignment. So this assignment is going to be called Practical Exam 1. And so it's an in-class assignment. So here's the thing. Below the rich content editor, for each assignment, you're going to be given several different options. You're going to be given point value, what group that assignment belongs to, how to display that grade. You're also going to get the option to choose a submission type, if this is a group assignment or not, if you want to enable peer reviews, which we'll talk about in a later lecture. You'll also be able to talk about moderated grading, and then when this assignment is actually going to be due. Okay, so let's go ahead and start at the top with this. So I'm going to give my students instructions. Now this is an in-class assessment, which could be confusing for some students. So I'm going to leave them instructions here. This is an in-class exam. You must come to campus during regular lab hours to take this exam on its due date. There will be no lab following this exam on the day that it is given. If you have questions, please contact me before the day of the exam. All right, so there are my instructions, very basic instructions for my students, but hopefully this would decrease the number of students that somehow think they're going to take a lab practical exam online. Okay, so let's move down here. This lab practical is indeed going to be out of 100 points. And then I want to categorize it into the category of practical exams. So I'm going to put it into that assignment grouping. And this is why we went over assignment grouping before we got here, because if you didn't do that first, you're going to have to go through creating a brand new group. So I like to create my groups first and then just make my assignments and drop them into them. Display the grade as, I always like to give my students their grade in points. You can change it up if you want to, but I typically find that just by giving them the point value, that tends to work well. Okay, submission type. This is where I'm going to say that it's an in-class. So I'm going to say on paper, okay, and that lets them know that this is going to be something that they actually have to do on paper in class. And that brings up another important point. If they were to come into class, if they were to need to bring a Scantron, then I could put that information here. I could say, please remember to bring a pencil and a Scantron. All right. Okay, so I've set that up. It's not a group assignment. It's not going to have peer reviews. It is not going to have a moderator, and I'm going to assign it to everyone in the class. We haven't talked about groups yet. We will talk about them a little later, but we haven't talked about them right now. And then I'm going to set my due date. Now, of course, I'm not actually teaching, but let's just say that this had a due date of the 12th. Okay? And when is it available? Well, it's going to be, and actually, let's say the class time here was at 11 a.m. So I'll put 11 a.m. Done for my due date. When is it available? Well, I'm going to put it available just on that day. So it's going to be August 12th. And it's going to be 11 a.m. And then I'm also going to put it here as due at 11. Actually, I'll make it available. It's a 2-hour test, so I'll make it available until 1 p.m. Done. Okay. And so if I've got everything set up, I'm happy with the way the assignment looks, I'm going to choose to save it. Okay. Oops, I forgot to change this here to August 12th. So let me move over. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so there I go. I've set the time frame for my assignment. And now we're going to go back over here. We've got this assignment. It's ready to be published, so I'm going to publish it. Okay. And now when I come to my assignments tab, in the groups, I'm going to see that that has been added to that group. And again, just so we can see this, when I created this assignment, it now populates it to the syllabus. So if I go to the syllabus page, I'm going to see that assignment appear there. There it is. Okay, so there's the assignment. And then if I go to the calendar page, then this is going to be in the calendar. So I can go over here to the calendar page. And when I go to August, there's that assignment. And so this is just a really convenient way to create assignments that are in-class assignments, quote unquote, on paper, that your students need to be aware of.